Coming in hot at number 6 is the Wacom 1. Wait, didn't we already do this? Okay, so Wacom likes to reuse names. This is the Wacom 1, not to be confused with the one by Wacom. The Wacom 1 was released in 2020, and it's a tablet with a built-in display you can draw directly onto. While there are advantages to drawing on a display, it's not essential. To be honest, you can make the same quality art on the one by Wacom which doesn't have a screen, so don't feel like you need the most expensive tablet to be successful at digital art. Now I ranked the Wacom 1 a bit higher than the Intuos Pro because I believe most artists are going to feel more comfortable drawing directly on a screen. But in many ways the Wacom 1 is a downgrade from the Intuos Pro with only 4,000 pen pressure levels and a pen that more closely resembles the basic pen that comes with the non-Pro Intuos. And oddly enough, the Wacom 1's pen only has one shortcut button, while the entry-level one by Wacom's pen has 2 buttons. It is actually useful to have 2 buttons on your pen, so that might be reason enough to go with the Intuos Pro. But at least the Wacom 1's pen supports pen tilt, which makes it stand out from the other pens included with the Intuos and one by Wacom. The Wacom 1 has an active drawing area of 11.6 by 6.5 inches, which is considerably larger than the Intuos Pro Medium, but only a bit narrower than the Intuos Pro Large and not as tall. Because of this taller aspect ratio, the large Intuos Pro lends itself better to large gesture drawing. Another notable difference is that because the Wacom 1 is a display tablet, you will need to connect it to your device with a video cable in addition to the USB cable needed to transmit data. In contrast, the Intuos Pro can be connected wirelessly using only Bluetooth. Much like the Intuos Pro, the Wacom 1 supports additional pens, but only specific EMR pens and unfortunately not any of Wacom's Pro pens. One feature that sets the Wacom 1 apart from the other tablets in this list is its ability to seamlessly connect to select Android devices, which allows you to draw and paint on your phone instead of a desktop or laptop. Now I know I said the Intuos can connect to Android as well, but it doesn't do it nearly as well as the Wacom 1 does. While the Intuos only maps a portion of your tablet to the device's screen, the Wacom 1 can open your phone full screen in desktop mode. While you can do basic digital painting and drawing, making art on Android is not quite as robust as the experience you'd get by drawing on a Windows or Mac computer. That's not to mention that the Wacom 1 does not support touch, while most Android art apps are built for touch devices. But I do believe that mobile apps are soon going to adapt to accommodate display tablets, and despite those drawbacks, drawing with the Wacom 1 is light years away from drawing with a stylus or a finger. So it might be worth it to choose the Wacom 1 over the Intuos Pro depending on your needs. I think if you lean toward Pro, then you probably want the Intuos Pro since it offers a better pen, a larger gesture space, and multi-touch. If you're more of a beginner or a hobbyist and the pro-level features don't matter to you, choose the Wacom 1. And if portability is a concern, the Wacom 1 does have an advantage by being more low profile than the Cintiqs, which are much bulkier. Number 5 is a pair of display tablets, the Wacom Cintiq 16 and the Cintiq 22. These are essentially the same tablet, just in different sizes. Aside from the difference in size, the most notable distinction is that the Cintiq 22 comes with a stand, whereas the Cintiq 16 has fold-out legs with an optional stand that must be purchased separately. Both sizes of this tablet are great, but as you know, I prefer a large drawing surface, so clearly I think you should choose the 22 if you can afford it. If you're trying to choose between the Cintiq 16 or the Wacom 1, then if you lean Pro, go with the Cintiq 16 because it comes with a more comfortable Pro Pen 2, which has twice as many pressure levels, 2 pen buttons, and an eraser. The Cintiq 16 also supports Wacom's other Pro Pens, and it has an optional adjustable stand, which I definitely recommend if you want to work at a more comfortable vertical angle. As with the Wacom 1, the Cintiqs require an HDMI video connection to a Mac or Windows computer. If you're more of a beginner or hobbyist and the pro-level features don't matter to you, choose the Wacom 1. And if portability is a concern, the Wacom 1 does have an advantage by being more low profile than the Cintiqs, which are much bulkier. Now here's where we start to transition to tablets that are more for professional use. These tablets offer features that are probably only going to matter to artists who make art for a living. Even if these models are out of your price range, I think it's still helpful to see what they offer to get a better idea of what you should expect from a more affordable tablet. I'll be sharing some advice on how many pressure levels you need, and you might be surprised at my number 1 choice, so stay tuned.